tech foul called on the Kings. That's what it is.
Give him plenty of time, fake it, back cut.
Gaze likes the intensity. Brisbane Bullets. What a win for them on the road to silence the Sydney Kings faithful.
Yeah, the Kings may have lost their first game of the season, but Australian basketball is richer for having Andrew Gaze on the sideline with the clipboard. He joins us right now. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
How was it? Exciting, exhilarating, fun? You know, we saw a lot of emotion.
Yeah. No, I love it. First and foremost, I'm a fan of the game, and it's great to be out there and being able to compete at the highest level again, albeit in a different capacity, a lot more stressful capacity, I might add. But no, it's good fun, and the standard of the competition these days is extraordinary. And when you've only got 8 teams, the concentration of talent makes it for a tough assignment. But looking forward to it. I love my guys on the team. We've got a great camaraderie that's going on right now. It's a work in progress. We're building it up, but I'm looking forward to the challenges that lie ahead, albeit pretty tough ones.
We love it here. We talk about people like Ricky Stewart on the sideline in the NRL games, and we talk about AFL coaches, Rodney Eade, obviously. You don't mind the interaction either, just the one game in. Just have a listen. We saw a bit of it there. I just want to throw it to you.
Come on now.
Come on. This is...
I think that's a correct call, but we ain't getting that shit down there. That's my problem. It's heavily lopsided. I'm not saying that's not a foul. Yeah.
And there was the other one where I saw you behind the umpire just sending positive vibes. Trying to send some
I mean, it's a concentration now. I mean, all coaches are involved and engaged with the referees, and it's part of just trying to get an understanding of how they're going to call games. And sometimes you might feel that it's a little lopsided, and you just got to remind them or ask them.
You did it nicely.
Why certain things are happening down one end and not down the other, but that's all part of it. And like I said, it's great to be back there in the firing line and having to deal with those types of things.
Have you modelled yourself on any particular coach? I mean, are you a Phil Jackson man, or do you just ring up Dad?
During the game and before the game, I think it was my son or one of my daughters. They came up to me and a bit of words of advice and said, "When in doubt, just think what Grandpa would do." Just think what Grandpa would do. I'm thinking, well, it's good advice because Grandpa wasn't too bad.
Grandpa was there too.
Yeah, Grandpa was there. And but you just got to be your own person. I think that sometimes you go into this, and I found it as a player, as younger, when you're trying it. There's the old man right there.
Rocking in the Black Fives cap.
Yeah.
All right.
His eyes. He needs that because his eyes aren't as good as they once were. But even as a player, when I idolised Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, and when you're young, you try and emulate them, and you can get some good things out of that, but at the end of the day, you've got to be your own person. And so that's what I'm trying to be. I have my own personality, and I take inspiration from a lot of different people and a lot of coaches in our league here in Australia do an incredible job, but just try to be your own person.
Well, that's why we love you, Gazy, because of your personality. We saw your passion out in the court before, but when you were a younger player, there wasn't much emotion there at all. We've got a shot of you on the Boomers here. Are you a little bit shattered that you couldn't grow a mo like the other boys?
That was back in 1984, the first Olympic Games, and we were putting on our mean face trying to scare the opposition on that one. So I don't know whether we pulled it off or not. I don't think we intimidated too many because of that shot.
How old were you there, Gazy?
I was 18, turning 19, yeah. So how's the colour and, more importantly, the density?
You mentioned being your own man, and part of that is you've never drank, have you? You've never drunk alcohol. And was that a conscious decision early in life? And have you ever had a tipple, ever? Like, have you ever snuck that one in at the side after a championship win?
I've never actually been drunk, but I think that it probably come more from my parental influences and in particular my dad, he's never drunk. And I guess early on in those formative years, I always felt that, and maybe because of his influence, that if I was to have even a sip, then that would destroy my chances of ever being able to be a good basketballer. So for some reason it was instilled in me, and there has been the time I've had a sip. You know, someone's after a win or someone says try this, but I've never acquired the taste, so to speak. So, but I'm not anti-drinking. I mean, good luck to anyone that wants to have a sip, provided they don't do it in excess and do stupid, idiotic things. But
so if halfway through the season we see you courtside calling up with a goon bag, the game's not quite
the system hasn't quite worked as I would like it. But geez, it's like you see me doing that on the sideline.
We know you're having a tough year.
Your drunk impersonations are surprisingly good.
Well, I've been around a lot of situations, so I've learnt sometimes how to behave like a drunk, even though I'm not drunk.
There's some, obviously, Josh Powell arrived today for you, because you do need a little bit of that big man stuff, don't you?
Yeah, we do. One of the big setbacks for us, there's Josh on screen now, but one of the big setbacks for us is that Julian Kazoo is one of the stars of the competition, 6'10", one of the premier big men. He tore his quad bone off the bone last season, or part of it, and he's still rehabilitating that. And unfortunately, he hasn't been there. And as such, that big man department is where we've been, where we can improve.
Yep.
And certainly when Julian comes back and we have him and Josh working together, it could be a real asset to us. But you know, we just felt that we waited to see how Julian was going to be, and we're going to be real patient with him because he's a genuine star, and we don't want to damage what he can bring to the table later on in the season. So we're going to be really cautious with him. But hopefully Josh, who's been in the NBA, he's been around the world, hopefully he can help us on the boards, because in all our pre-season games and even in the game against Brisbane, we weren't that good on the board. So we need some help in that area.
Great to see Brisbane back in the competition.
Yes.
But as a long-time basketball lover, I still can't get my head around, Gazy, that there's no Melbourne Tigers.
Yeah.
Looking back, was that a mistake, do you think, to not have them in the comp?
Oh, well, I think that's for others to judge. The Melbourne Tigers are still around, and I'm still very much a supporter and involved in the Melbourne Tigers, and that, you know, it's disappointing because you'd love to see them at the highest level. They're the oldest club in the history of Australia of basketball. So, you know, hopefully one day that opportunity may be there in the future, but that's not the case right now. So we move on, and the good thing is that we do have a league, because there's been some times when we haven't had, you know, there's been threat of even having a league, and I think with what Larry Kesselman, I mean, what he's been able to do, in the investment he's made into the sport is just phenomenal. I mean, it's incredible. So we're very grateful for that, and hopefully we can build the competition. But one thing we do need more teams. I think 8 teams is great.
Yep.
But I reckon that's the bare minimum. We do need more teams.
Can I say, I want to go back to the Tigers. We've got that vision because you were there, obviously, and
I feel like this is a roast.
the crowd loves you. This isn't a celebrity roast, but here's you see some vision of you looking a bit sore. We've got that vision of Gazy.
Oh, getting upstairs and throwing it down.
There we go.
Oh, what about
there we
this?
go. Here he is here, which is terrific, and the crowd really embraced that look for you.
Yes. And ironically, that when I got there, I had to have like 6 stitches here and 8 stitches in the back. So they did me up, did the mummy thing, and the Rick McCosker.